Appreciate you guys jumping on here tonight. And thank you so much. I hope you're all having a great night out there. The reason why I sent this out is because we started, for those of you that don't know me as well, I've been in real estate for over a decade now. And about 8 years ago, we started really trying to get out there and help our veterans. And at the time, I was still working out of Maryland. I teamed up with an organization that was there, and it was great. But what I found is my hands were tied because of all the bureaucracy in the DC area. I could never really get accomplished what I wanted to get accomplished. And the thing I was trying to accomplish was a couple things. One, bring resources to our veterans. We have too many veterans that are out there, and our first responders as well. But we have too many people out there that are suffering with PTSD, or just not, even if they don't have PTSD, they just don't have access to the services that they need, right? So I fought with this while I was in DC, and then when we relocated and came down here to the Florida area, started working with a lot of the nonprofits down here. And my intention at that point, it became Operation New Day, which some of you guys I know you have heard and seen. And what we've been doing for the past couple of years now is we've been helping to try and get that word out. But I've been doing it through other nonprofits, right? Trying to support them, get them out there. But the one thing that I've identified is everybody has their own mission, okay? And I've realized that what my mission is to be the conduit, get the word out to all of these veterans so that we don't have a situation where I walk into a store in Melbourne and I'm told, because they know me there, they tell me that they were looking for my number because just before I got there was a homeless colonel that was looking for assistance and possibly a job. There's no reason, I've said this to some of you guys before, there's no reason why somebody like a colonel who's an educated person does not know how to get the resources. And we have a ton of resources in the area throughout the country. So in addition, over the past 8 years, for those of that you know me better, you know that I talk to everybody. So we've already put together a list of resources for veterans in Maryland, Tennessee, Texas, California, throughout the state of Florida, and some other states. So what we want to do is make sure that we get the word out there, which is why we decided to call this Let the Heroes Know, so that this way they know where to go to get the assistance that they need, right? No matter what it is, whether it's assistance with trying to, just get assistance, with filing some paperwork, or, if they're suffering from PTSD, we know that our veterans are out there and they're not getting the treatment because a lot of our veterans, the only jobs that they can hold are law enforcement, security, jobs that they'll be excluded from if they get a formal diagnosis. So they go, undiagnosed, which is becoming more of a problem. So, there's two parts to our program. The first thing is by far the outreach, making sure that we can build this connection across the country. I want to make sure if the veteran is coming from someplace here in Florida and they move, either relocate or go on vacation out to California, Texas, wherever, it's a very simple one-stop shop that they call up and they can get the resources they need. Does that make sense to everybody? It's pretty simple. And then the second part is because, I'm in real estate, right? And I know a lot of realtors, and it's so ridiculous because I see contracts and deals all the time where people are arguing, no, you take the couch. No, you take the couch. No, you take the couch. Nobody wants to move the couch or the bed or the dresser. So, some years ago, we started collecting up whenever, nobody wants the furniture, we collect it up and redistribute it out to veterans that need it. And recently I've started to work with the men's shelter down in Fort Pierce, which helps homeless veterans get back to housing. They come with the clothes on their back. They have nothing. So the need is much greater than what we've been doing here. So some of you guys have been seen me putting out requests for beds and couches and stuff like that and household items. So what we're going to be doing is two parts. One, the outreach, and then the second part will be collecting up the different furniture from listings, people that are just renovating their houses. I just picked up some great, chairs and tables and beds from a woman that just was redecorating. So why let this stuff go to the landfill, folks? Right? Or even if it goes to a local, charity organization, which is great, the veteran still has to pay for it. By doing it this way, we can actually get this stuff back to where they actually have some, a way of life that they can actually enjoy. Providing pots and pans. We brought over for 3 veterans that were homeless last week. My dad went with me. We brought over some household items, couches, tables, stuff like that, pots and pans, and we were able to bring some dishes and silverware. And the one guy that greeted us, he was practically in tears because of the fact that he hasn't been able to cook himself a meal in quite a long time. And that's not right. That's not right. So, part of this will be raising, obviously collecting what we can, and then we'll be raising funds. So whatever we can't collect, we can help to provide for these veterans. Okay. So, I mean, we're going to keep it pretty simple. We're also going to, like I said, connect across the country. We're not going to try and recreate the wheels, the wheel on this. We're going to connect with other nonprofits. Tanya's here. Her brother has a nonprofit. And Tanya, I mean, they're doing stuff with veterans and hiking, I believe, right?
No. So Task Force Hydro 1 is out of Jacksonville, and they basically do they help combat suicide, PTSD through water. Like
Through water,
it's mostly through, it's mostly through surfing, paddling. They do surfboard shaping, so they go there and they do outrigging too. So I basically have them focused on like water sports and also building their own boards.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's one place, but me, you don't want to see me on a surfboard, right? So I know there's other veterans out there as well. So, we have a good friend of mine, John Hancock. He's the one that actually is doing the hiking. I thought of it after I said it, but he's got groups out in California and they hike all through the mountains and stuff. We have groups that go out fishing, and we have other organizations that provide various different services, whether it's the Dogs for Life or these various different services. So we'll be connecting these things based on what the veteran needs. Okay. So now the reason why I wanted to do this, right, and have everybody on here, normally I have everything all as nice and neat and pretty as possible, but this is something we've been working on for a long time. And for anybody that knows me, once I make a decision, we're doing it. So we're working on the website right now. We have some really cool Google Sheets, Google Forms for everybody. So depending on what we need from everyone here, the reason why I asked you guys is I need a hand getting the word out. That's the initial thing. So we need to let everybody know what's going on. Right now on Facebook, we have our Operation New Day page, which we're still utilizing. So if you guys could like that, share it. We're going to be sharing a lot of this information on there. The name will be changing to let the heroes know as we get going. There'll be different components on there. And then for those of you that want to get more involved, okay, there'll be various different opportunities, whether you want to go move the furniture with us. October 10th in Vero Beach, Shari Roberts there down in Loxahatchee. We're going to be rolling out a big event, and leveraging off of EXP's power. So it's going to be the Fill the Truck event. So at our event in Vero, we're going to have the office open all day. We're going to have a 28-foot enclosed trailer, and we're going to be calling on the public to fill it with furniture, household items, the dishes, the plates, all that kind of stuff, so that we can get this stuff back out to these veterans. Okay.
Love it.
Question.
Diana? Yeah.
Yes. Do you have anybody out here in Volusia or Ormond Beach for that same date?
Not yet, but that was going to be something that I was going to get to. That anybody
could I
be
that person?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing right now is we're going to have storage units in place all over the country. We don't have that yet. My Tampa guy he's got a box truck, so he's going to fill the truck. You know, I don't have a truck I could store, but Chris, I'm going to meet up with Chris. We're like an hour and a half away. We'll meet somewhere in between and I'll do you have the ability to store for a while?
Okay, so the cool thing is that in my office building, they do have climate control storage units. So I can talk to the owner and see if he would be on board for that day with us to contribute and kind of be on board for this.
Yeah, so we'd like to, you know, it would be, I mean, if you could do long-term for free, that's obviously, let them write it off.
That
Chris
would be
is-
amazing.
Yeah,
Yes,
to start
so
with
we're gonna
that.
pitch, we're gonna pitch the day and then see. But he loves to get back to the community and his frame of mind and mindset. It's along those lines. So I'm sure it would be more a yes. So definitely we'll pitch the idea to have it full circle.
And one other
All
thing, I
year would
came
be amazing.
a little late. Is everyone here EXP or no?
No.
Okay,
No,
are
all,
you,
all over the
Yeah.
place?
I mean,
you are, okay, Diana. So on 1010,
that's
you
what I
can
want
also-
to do.
okay, so you could tell him though also that he'll have
Yes.
coverage. It'll be
Okay.
blasted all over social media. You know, he should get something back too. You know, promoting.
Exactly. Marketing. Exactly. It would be a
Cool.
win-win situation. Yes, this is, I'm pumped
Thank
about this.
you.
Yeah,
Yay.
and-
All right, now
I'm excited.
where's Ormond Beach? Because I'm geographically challenged.
By Daytona.
Just by Daytona, just a little north of Daytona, in between Daytona, Palm Coast.
Perfect.
Yeah, so we'll be getting a good presence. Tanya, to your question, throughout the country, as far as the fill the truck, I don't have we're gonna have the storage units and stuff out there, but we just don't have the network there. I can definitely talk with you about if we want to connect with some of the facilities out there, because I mean, I know there's vets in that area as well. So, you know, we can, and depending on what everybody's capabilities are, you know, we can adjust this for your location. If you don't have the ability to do, you know, the collection of the actual storage, you know, the furniture, or maybe, you know, you don't have the muscle, you don't have the vehicles, whatever, that's fine. You know, we can do it more of just a get to know what we're doing and do the connection. You know, we're going to be doing a barbecue at our office as well. A package of hot dogs from Costco, small charcoal grill. We did it not too long ago. I think the whole event cost us like $40-50. And we had a whole bunch of people that came in and we were able to get the word out about what we're doing. Right.
Nice.
And, you know, on that note, which we were on the state meeting, and when somebody asked, well, what if nobody shows up? Right. The whole thing about it is, I realized a long time ago, it doesn't matter if nobody shows up. If we have Jacksonville, Ormond Beach, Vero Beach, Loxahatchee, Tampa, and we'll probably pick up a few along the way, right? If we have everybody marketing this around the state, I mean, how much of a foothold with social media and everything else can we get the word out to our veterans so that they know that there's a, you know, place to go for resources? Right. And it's not all going to be based on just somebody that is in trouble with PTSD. This is going to be any, you know, all the services. Sometimes our veterans, they don't need a counselor. They just need somebody to talk to that speaks the same language. Right. For those of us that are veterans here, you know, when you're talking to certain people and they're trying to relate to what you're saying, but they just don't. Right. And for anybody that's ever had that conversation with a veteran, you know that things have, you know, things may not go right if you're trying to, you know, connect on a subject that you don't know. You know, so, and that's the whole point. So Diana, that's awesome.
So another thing you mentioned was you mentioned the Dog for Life as well. So I believe that I can connect your organization with someone in my office. I believe, if I'm certain, she works especially with the dogs for veterans to help them and all that good stuff. She even had one in the office one day, like training them. So yes, so that's another thing that I can connect you with as well.
Awesome. So
in my
what
area.
we're going to be doing here in just a minute, I'm going to have Elisa drop the link in the chat for the, we have a little questionnaire. So for those of you that want to assist, it'll just, let you guys check off what it is that you're able to do. And then, places like that, organizations, we'll be able to get those in so we can, get in contact with them, make sure that they want to work with us, and then, bridge those gaps. Right. We have a lot of nonprofits that are great out there, but they're just not, they're good at what they're good at. But some of them, miss on the marketing or getting the word out. Sherry, you got your hand up?
I do. Thank you. Also, out here in West Palm, we've made friends with the director of the VA hospital, the employee/veteran organization. They do fundraisers. They're like the outreach. They organize for all the workers to, happy hours, things like that. And the sister organizations in Miami, and then she knows the people that are in, I think it was Tampa. So if you have a VA hospital around you and you want me to connect, or you can, I joked around. I'm like, I can't follow directions. It took me 2 hours to find who I needed to speak to. And everyone's like, go left, go right. I'm like, you veterans can have a map in the wilderness. I couldn't find my way around the VA hospital. It was crazy. But if you are interested in getting in touch with the VA hospital, because this also, we were talking and she's like, we don't have the storage space. We don't have the people who are volunteering in order to take the furniture, but we have the people who need the furniture. So, like everything that Christopher was saying with everybody, these houses, they have all this furniture. Why just throw it out or whatever? So that's next on my list. I have to contact Lauren there. So please let me know if somewhere that you are in the country or in the state of Florida that I can help you connect. And it would be nice because she's going to get the word out for us to the whole VA system, like where she's allowed to do that. And any other thing, Chris, that you want me to have her know, I can connect you with them too. She's one of the good ones. So
Awesome.
that's another thing I was thinking about.
Very cool. Yeah, it's all about getting the connections out there. So we're going to have another form too that'll be going out that we can share with our veterans, that they can discreetly fill out what they need when they need assistance, whether it's, furniture, services, whatever it is. So at that point, they can be connected with one of our representatives that can help coordinate. So, maybe they need some stuff for the house. We may be able to just move it straight from wherever it's coming from straight to them as well. So that's, honestly, that's the way we started it, and it's been, rolling pretty good, so far. But the more and more that we do this, the more of a need that I'm seeing that's out there.
Quick thing. Can you make that Google Doc accessible whenever there's some setting you have to do? It says need permission.
Elisa,
Chris.
can you
Lisa? Yeah.
She's changing that. Yeah. So, that'll help. And then as we get going, this is going to pick up speed really fast. As you can see, just by putting out a simple shout out to everybody, we have, 16 people here. We have quite a few people that have told me that they wanted to join, but they had prior engagements. So they're all asking for the information after the fact. So we have a lot of people out there that are really pushing for us to get going, from county commissioners that have already spoke to, various different business owners, as some of you guys are, and then the real estate community. So we have a state, we already have a national platform as far as the military network. So that's already going to be getting pushed out that way. So we're going to pick up speed really fast. Okay. So, what we need, obviously, get the word out. For people that want to volunteer, we're going to need people that are willing to, help move some furniture, people that are willing to organize, connect with the veterans, and make those connections. So if that's something that you're interested, please let me know. And then, for scheduling different events. Okay.
Chris, if you send that flyer, Paul has a friend. Hey, Paul. He's in Merritt Island, I think it is. And I think he's like former FBI and all that kind of stuff. So he has a couple of people that might be interested as well.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be getting everything out to everybody here shortly. So the one link's already in the chat. We'll be sending out a follow-up message to everybody with more of the information. For anybody, I've had a lot of people step up. Turns out people that own trucks like to use them. So if you have a truck and you want to move big items around, by all means, we can use that. And then, eventually, hopefully we'll get some of our own trucks, but we're quite a ways away from that for right now. Storage locations, if you have the ability to store stuff, that's great. But if not, like Shari said, we are, talking with a storage company to get some storage units. And then events, Diana, you want to do the events up there. We're going to roll this out on 10/10. Because that's going to be a big push, and we're going to have the backing of EXP to push us out. But throughout the year, we're not going to stop there. I will be putting out. I have some ideas for a big event in the springtime. So once we get past 10/10 and we can show everybody what we can do, we'll push that out and then get the momentum going. Okay, and then. If we know anybody that's out there that has, some technical expertise in the web world, I know we're building a website here, but if we get somebody that wants to volunteer, that's maybe an actual web designer that can help us, maybe give us some pointers and stuff, I wouldn't be opposed to that either. So if you guys know anybody, Quincy, were you going to say something?
I have some of those guys at work, but I don't know. I mean, they're all vets, obviously, where I work. But,
Yeah.
So I'll reach out to some of them. So that was one of the things I was thinking of. Actually, the dude I'm living with in the midst of my retirement actually has a little bit of a cyber background as well. So he may be interested, and he's big about all the vet services stuff. So. Yeah,
and getting this done was more important than getting it perfect for the rollout, and that's why I wanted to do this, because we need to get this out. There's too many people out there, from the vets that we've just. It was 3 vets last week. It's been, 2 families, one of 5 and one of 4, like 2 weeks before that. There's just too many people out there that are just in a position where they don't have the services. So, we're going to be, trying to connect as many of these things as possible to make sure that when the vet needs it, the services are there. Okay. So yeah, other than that, we will start. We have we are, fully, legal. The 501c3 paperwork has already been submitted. We're just waiting on that final approval to come through. So once we have that, you will be able to give out receipts for any donations for anybody makes. And then the same thing when people want to start to donate, cash donations as well. That'll go towards the other stuff that we talked about, purchasing the rest of the items that are not, that we just don't come up with from people trying to get rid of it at their houses. So I'm excited because I've been doing this on the side for a long time. So now that we actually just made the decision, it's going to be, this is something that we can really make a difference. Okay. Elisa and Quincy are with me on as far as the founders, and we'll also be serving on the board. I'll be reaching out to a couple of you guys, see if we're going to need a couple extra board members to help drive this thing forward. So as we get there, it'll grow, and bottom line, we just got to get out and help those heroes. So does anybody have any questions?
Nope.
All right. Well, we'll be out there October 10th, wherever you guys are. It's a Tuesday. Like I said, in Vero Beach, I know we'll have the big old trailer there with the barbecue. I know Loxahatchee, Tampa, It's looking like St. Augustine or Jacksonville is a good possibility. And Diana, it looks like you'll have Ormond Beach, so that's awesome. So I'm excited about this because real quick, we can get coverage across almost the entire state. Okay. So the other thing is, I'll just throw it out there. We also have a joint effort with the Firewatch. Some of you guys have seen me put that information out. Firewatch is another organization that provides free training for veterans or civilians to identify the veterans with PTSD that are in danger of committing suicide. All right. Our entire office has been certified. So we are a designated veteran safe place.
Nice.
They are now currently a Florida program, but I was on a call with them today. We were going to help them get out across the country as well. There was some, they already have the infrastructure for their portion. So that is a simple program. If you guys want to get certified, let me know. It's for veterans, it's about 40 minutes. Non-veterans, it's about an hour worth of training, but it gives you all the resources and stuff to get out there. So I'm looking forward to a strong partnership with them. And between us, we'll be able to grow. Need for clothing. We don't have the ability to really collect the clothing right now. We are collecting up men's dress suits because I do have a connection with the shelter. So they help with, it's a career rehabilitation to get these guys back to work. So we will collect up men's dress suits. But honestly, regular clothes, we just don't have the facilities. Maybe at some point, we will. But for right now, we'll defer that to places that can actually house the clothing and process it properly.
Chris, can I ask a question?
Uh-huh.
What about financial contributions? Would that help?
Yeah, we'll be doing the financial contributions, and Lisa will be sending out a letter to everybody. As soon as the 501c3, everything's up and running on our end. We should have the 501c3 done here shortly. So anybody that does a financial contribution will get that receipt as soon as it gets processed, or you can wait until after it gets processed. It shouldn't be too much longer.
And just one other question. You mentioned a couple of weeks ago that you helped two families, family of 4, family of 5. Have you thought anything about like a follow-up that maybe at Christmas time to bring gifts to those children and things like that? Because that's something that many of us would get on board with as well. And just follow families. Honestly,
I didn't think about that, but I mean, I like the idea. So, okay. I mean, and I'm sure we could get a lot of people on board with that. So
make sure a lot of the churches do meals for, that they can help with, and we could help coordinate that.
Yeah.
Nice Thanksgiving. So it's just an idea to follow up with the people that you're helping so much.
Yeah. So that's one thing. I mean, I'm more than happy to do that. One thing I do not want to do is I see too many organizations that go out and they're like, oh, look at me with this homeless person, take a snapshot. And then they post. I think that's completely out of, that's not needed. So you take your photos of, what's that?
Of course not. Absolutely not. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. So that's the only thing I don't want to do as far as, as far as the volunteers and what we're doing, put it out there, because that's how we're going to get the word out there. But, for them, I want them to know that they have the, just the privacy, so they don't have to be ashamed about what's going on with them. So, but I like the idea of the stuff at the holidays. I mean, some of you guys know I've done some pretty cool things. We had the flight to the North Pole. We've done various different things for the kids. And I mean, holidays, we've invited them over to the house, different veterans and stuff. So, yeah, I'm good with that. So I like it. Any other ideas? Did everybody get the copy of the link that we sent out? Okay.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah, Quincy.
Hey, so I forget who was talking about the Dogs for Life. I'm not really sure what that is, but I know over here in Brooksville, there's a Canine Partners for Patriots. You
Yeah.
have to apply, but they basically train you and the dog. You get issued the dog based on personality. Like you don't have to bring a dog; you get your own dog, and it sounds kind of like the same thing. But
Yeah, Dogs for Life does the same thing. That's a local
okay, that's what I figured.
organization here.
Yeah.
But see that's what I'm talking about. Like you have that one there. We have this one here. We have veterans that
Connect
move,
them all.
right?
Yep.
And if we can, piggyback off of each other, that's ultimately what I want to do. We had a situation that unfortunately I thought I resolved, and it wasn't brought back to my attention that there was a problem. The group I work with there's a group I work with out of Maryland, and they do a lot of great stuff for our veterans, right? So they have the ability to, with counselors, and for anybody that deals with this stuff, that finding military certified counselors is very difficult. So I set up a group here to do a private group just for female veterans here in Vero Beach. They couldn't come up with the numbers to satisfy what they needed for that event. So they wound up losing the event. I guarantee you there's more female veterans out there that would have been willing to partake in this program if they would have had the word out there. But, be good there, Tanya. Thanks for joining us. But we got to get the word out there to everybody. To lose a program like that or a slot with certified counselors and help, veterans out of that group. Now that was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Out of that group of females, 2 already passed away. Right? Shouldn't happen.
No,
should not happen. Right? So by getting this out there, and if we have a group that is missing people, they got to meet a quota, whatever it is, we can help facilitate that.
for sure.
Okay. So
for the 10/10 event, you mentioned all the different cities. Is there something going on in Tampa that I wasn't tracking yet, or is that just a future goal?
I have my guy in Tampa, he's a vet, and he's the one with the box truck. So definitely reach out to either Chris or me. I'll put in my email and text, and I'll hook you up with Jeff. He needs help.
Okay, yeah, because
in more ways than one, but yes, please.
I'm a little physically limited right now. I just had surgery, but I'm here until December. So, and as far as the VA stuff goes, I'm about to start processing all that stuff. So I will take lots of notes as I retire out of the service. So, but yeah, shoot me that note and I'll reach out to him for the Tampa side of it.
Yay. Are you retiring, or did you say you're retired?
I'm retiring.
Okay, reach out. I got a guy for you if they haven't already, who's going to coach you on what you need to do before you separate yourself to get your rating as high as you can before you go.
Well, that's my next step. I just entered my window. So
okay.
Thank you.
We'll connect. Yep, you got it.
Chris,
Awesome.
let us know how we can help you with that Maryland group too up here.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're going to be hitting that. I think I told you guys I'll be up in Maryland on Friday. So I'm not sure if you guys will be around. There's kind of a last minute decision, but I'm on my way up.
You gonna be in Charles County or up here, Baltimore County?
I'll be up mostly towards you guys, Baltimore, Annapolis. I can connect with you tomorrow and give you my times. I'm trying to put the itinerary together, but I'll be rolling and then heading up to New York and then getting out of Dodge.
All right. I record in the morning, but I'll have time in the afternoon if we can connect.
Okay. All right, that works. I think I got some time in the afternoon, so we can go from there. Sound good? Awesome. And then one of these days we'll just get you guys to just move on down here. So
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
So for anybody who doesn't know, Carl has a lot down here, and Jay's trying to buy a place down here. So it's just a matter of time till they're actually residents down here.
I'm trying. Our mom's down there, so that's the first step.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, well, I actually sent my parents down here. They got here in 2005, right in the middle of all the big storms. So,
yeah, don't judge us by our weather in July and August, please.
I'll take that weather anytime over my January, February, and March weather.
Yeah, you say it, have an open mind.
No, thanks. I'm going north.
Awesome. Well, guys, I greatly appreciate everybody coming on here. Do we have any last minute questions or comments, ideas?
Thank you for your compassion and your, like you guys said, you give Chris an idea, step out of the way. Just stand back because he will run you over. So, you know, and all of you here, I've just seen you for the first time. I'm very excited. Looks like everyone's just as supportive. So thank you for doing all of this. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you very much. Doing a great job.
Well, thank you, guys. I'm excited. So let's roll. You'll all be receiving, some emails and some follow-up information from me. And I look forward to talking to everybody. All right.
See ya. Have a good night.
Have a good night,
you.
everybody.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody.
Talk to you
Bye.
soon.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.